Have you ever felt a mysterious force stirring within you, a pulse beneath the surface of your being, waiting to be awakened? A subtle current, neither thought nor emotion, but something deeper. Older, more potent? Across the ancient world, from the sacred breath of prana in the east to the ruach of the Hebrews, the ka of Egypt, and the pneuma of the Greeks, sages and mystics spoke of a hidden essence, vital energy coursing through all living things. This is not metaphor, but a real, animating power. It is the spark behind creation, the breath behind your breath, and if you learn to harness it, it can transform your life from the inside out. But here's the truth. Most people live their entire lives unaware of this force, or worse, they waste it leaking their power through distraction, fear, or chaotic desire. Yet, those who have learned to gather, refine, and direct this energy have shaped destinies, healed wounds, and pierced the veil of spiritual reality. So the question becomes, how do you take hold of this inner fire and use it to forge a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, and more aligned with the soul's calling? In this journey, we will uncover the long-lost knowledge of vital energy known by many names but understood by few. You'll learn how ancient traditions viewed this force, why its mastery was once reserved for initiates, and how you can begin to command it with conscious will. We'll explore mystical practices, energetic truths hidden beneath philosophy, and real-world techniques to awaken your life force and wield it with intention. If you're ready to stop drifting and start directing your energy like a masterful alchemist, then step into the sacred space. The transformation begins now. To understand how to control and direct your vital energy, we must first journey into the heart of forgotten wisdom, where the ancients didn't just study energy, they lived by it. In Kemet, or what we now call ancient Egypt, priests and priestesses spoke of the Kethi, energetic double of every human, invisible to the eye but essential for life. The Ka was not just a soul fragment, it was your divine current, sustained through ritual, offering, and inner purity. Temples served as energetic battery-sacred spaces where energy was amplified, focused, and refined. Meanwhile, in the East, the Vedic sages developed an intricate system around prana, the universal life force carried on the breath. Prana wasn't just air, it was consciousness in motion. The yogis realized that by controlling breath, posture, and inner focus, one could stir dormant energies, awaken latent potentials, and even pierce the veil of illusion Maya. In Taoist China, they called it qi, and mapped its pathways through the meridians. Masters of internal alchemy cultivated this energy through breathwork, gentle movement, and sexual discipline, not to suppress the body, but to transmute base desire into refined essence. Jing into qi into shen into the void. And the Greeks? Thinkers like Heraclitus spoke of the logos, the divine organizing principle. The Stoics believed this life energy flowed through all, and true power came not from dominating the world, but aligning oneself with this universal current. So what happened? As empires rose and fell, as dogma replaced experience, much of this knowledge was suppressed, fragmented, or hidden behind symbols and secrecy. The energy that once flowed through temple initiations, mystery schools, and oral transmissions was either forgotten or veiled behind allegory. Worse still, in the modern world, we've mistaken stimulation for energy. Caffeine, entertainment, stress, we're constantly burning our inner fuel without ever learning how to replenish or direct it. But here's the secret. This knowledge never disappeared. It went underground, preserved in esoteric texts, passed between hermetic circles, and encoded in sacred architecture and mythology. Those who sought truth beyond the surface, those who felt that there was more, became the new initiates. And now, you stand at the threshold. To understand your life force is not merely to increase energy, it is to reclaim sovereignty over your own reality. The ancients didn't just want to feel good. They wanted to evolve the soul, ascend consciousness, and become co-creators with the divine. In the sections to come, we will reawaken this buried wisdom. We'll decode the subtle anatomy of your energetic body. We'll explore how intention, breath, and awareness are the keys to the hidden levers of your being. The energy has always been there. It's time to remember how to use it. To command your life force is to awaken the hidden architecture of your being. But this isn't just about feeling energized. It's about becoming conscious of the subtle engine behind thought, emotion, and action. So what is vital energy, really? It is not physical in the way we understand matter. It is not measurable by the tools of modern science, yet its effects are undeniable. In esoteric terms, your life force is that which animates form. The ancient Hermeticists called it the anima mundi, soul of the world present in every grain of sand, every gust of wind, every beat of your heart. Within you, it expresses in three primary ways: vital force, that which sustains life and health; emotional energy, your feeling body; and mental energy, thought and focus. These are not separate, they're layered currents of the same river. The key is learning how to center them and then redirect their flow. The breath, the first gateway. The breath is the most ancient tool, and the most overlooked. Every breath you take is a bridge between the visible and the invisible. When you breathe without awareness, your energy scatters like water spilling without a vessel. But when breath becomes conscious, rhythmic, and intentional, something changes. Ancient yogis discovered that by mastering pranayama, control of life force through breath, one could gather the dispersed fragments of energy and draw them inward like a magnet pulling iron filings. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold. Exhale gently. And hold again. Each cycle trains the body to store, rather than waste, to gather, rather than leak. But the breath is only the beginning. The subtle body, mapping the invisible. Beneath your flesh is a subtle system of energy pathways. You might have heard of chakras or meridians. These aren't metaphors, they're energetic organs. Just as your liver processes toxins, your chakras process experience. Trauma, fear, love, desire, they all imprint upon this inner map. Let's take the solar plexus, for example. In Eastern systems, this is the Manipura Chakrathi seat of personal power and will. But in Kabbalistic mysticism, this is associated with the Sephira of Tiferetha, balance point of beauty, harmony, and transformation. When this center is weak, you feel powerless, indecisive. When it's overactive, you become aggressive, controlling. But when it's balanced, you radiate a calm authority. Energy flows outward with purpose, not force. And here's the deeper insight. Energy flows where consciousness goes. Your awareness is the switchboard. Where you place your focus, your breath, your intention, energy will follow. That's why scattered attention is so dangerous. Every moment spent in worry or distraction is a moment you feed energy into chaos. Containment before direction. Before you can direct your energy, you must first learn to contain it. Imagine your energy like a flame. Without a lantern to house it, wind blows it out. But if you build the vessel through discipline, silence, and attention, your flame grows steady and strong. This is why ancient initiates practiced celibacy, fasting, stillness, not as punishment, but to retain and refine the current within. Energy follows structure. Power without form dissipates. So your first task is to build the form. Body, breath, awareness all harmonized. And only then can the real direction begin. We have only begun to scratch the surface. In the next section, we will descend deeper into the paradoxes, the hidden doors, and the secret mechanics of energy mastery. We'll unravel what most people get wrong about vitality and explore the sacred art of transmutation, how to turn raw energy into spiritual gold. We've laid the foundation, the breath as the bridge, the body as the vessel, awareness as the guide. But now we enter the deeper chambers of understanding, the level where energy becomes alchemy. Because here's the sacred paradox. Your life force is both wildly primal and infinitely intelligent. It is the serpent and the dove, raw, instinctual power, and divine transcendent light. The mastery of this force is not about suppression but transformation, not control in the rigid sense, but conscious command through harmony. The dance of polarity. All vital energy is governed by polarity, masculine and feminine, active and receptive, solar and lunar. The ancients understood that energy only moves where polarity exists. Stagnation happens when we live too far on one end of the spectrum, too passive, too aggressive, too rigid, too fluid. In Taoist inner alchemy, for example, energy work begins by balancing yin and yang within the body. Too much yang? Burnout. Too much yin? Stagnation. But when balanced, the two merge, creating a third force, Shanti, spirit energy that fuels spiritual awakening. This is echoed in Hermeticism. As above, so below. As within, so without. The marriage of opposites, sun and moon, fire and water, is the key to generating the philosopher's stone within yourself. So how do you use this? You begin to observe your inner landscape. Are you always outputting, giving, doing, forcing? Then your energy is masculine heavy. You must learn stillness, receptivity, and silence. Are you always absorbing, waiting, feeling, but never acting? Then it's time to activate your fire, your focused will. Vital energy thrives on rhythm and alternation. Like breath in and out, you must learn to pulse between poles, not be trapped in one. Misconceptions about energy work. One of the greatest myths is that energy mastery means you always feel high vibe. Energy work will not spare you from discomfort. In fact, it often brings your shadows to the surface. Why? Because directing your life force is like increasing the voltage in a house. If the wiring, your beliefs, your nervous system, your emotional body isn't prepared, things short-circuit. That's why ancient initiates were trained gradually. They were taught to purify desire, clarify intention, and temper the ego so that the fire would not destroy the vessel. This is why many who stumble upon Kundalini energy unprepared experience crisis. The serpent awakens, but the channel is blocked. Energy surges, but the mind panics. They try to ascend, without having grounded. So here's the truth. Mastering your life force isn't about chasing highs. It's about becoming a sturdy, clear, and open channelable to receive, contain, and direct more power without distortion. The sacred art of transmutation. Now we arrive at the real jewel, transmutation. This is the mystical process of converting raw, often chaotic energy into refined spiritual force. Sexual energy, transmutable. Anger, transmutable. Fear, even that, too, can be converted. The key lies in containment and redirection. When you feel strong emotion, don't act impulsively, don't suppress it, either. Instead, breathe into it, feel it fully, but remain centered. Visualize the energy rising up the spine, into the heart, into the third eye. This is not imagination, it's neuroenergetic reality. You are literally repatterning how energy moves in your system. The Egyptians called this raising the Jeddah spine as the pillar of transformation. The yogis called it awakening the Shakti, the divine feminine force rising to unite with Shiva, the cosmic consciousness. Modern psychology might call it integration, but whatever the name, the process is the same. You no longer react to energy. You receive, refine, and redirect it. This is the hidden art, the mystery behind the mystery. It's not just about being spiritual, it's about becoming energetically sovereign, no longer ruled by moods, reactions, or outer chaos, but internally directed like a magnet aligned with the divine field. In the next section, we'll make this fully practical. You'll receive techniques, rituals, and daily practices to begin walking this path not in theory, but in your lived reality. So, how do you actually do this? How do you begin today to work with your life force consciously, intentionally, and with lasting results? Let's bring the mystical into the real. Below are ancient yet accessible practices designed to help you awaken, gather, and direct your vital energy. These aren't vague affirmations, these are disciplines practices that, if done consistently, will reshape your body, mind, and soul. 1. The Energy Seal Ritual, Morning Practice. Purpose: to gather scattered energy and seal leaks before the day begins. Duration: 5-10 minutes. How? Sit or stand with a straight spine. Begin slow, nasal breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. With each inhale, visualize drawing golden light up from the earth into your body. With each exhale, imagine this light forming a protective, radiant aura around you, a magnetic seal that prevents leakage and anchors your energy. Mentally affirm: I gather my power, I seal my field, I move with purpose. This primes your field to retain energy instead of scattering it through distraction, emotional reactivity, or aimless behavior. 2. Conscious Energy Redirection, Midday Reset. Purpose: to transmute emotional turbulence into higher awareness. How? When you feel strong emotion, anger, fear, desire, pause. Breathe deeply and bring awareness to the lower abdomen, the cauldron in Taoist practice. On the inhale, draw the energy upward through the chest, into the head. On the exhale, visualize it purifying, shifting from red or black smoke into clear golden light. Speak internally, "This energy serves my evolution." This simple act turns chaos into fuel. 3. The root lock technique for containment. Used by yogis and tantric practitioners alike, the Mula Bandha or root lock is a subtle contraction of the pelvic floor that seals your energetic container. It is especially powerful during meditation or breathwork. How? Gently contract the muscles at the base of the spine, as if stopping urine flow. Hold for a few seconds during breath retention. Release gently with the exhale. Practiced consistently, this builds inner pressure like steam in a vessel, allowing energy to rise naturally up the spine. 4. Daily energetic hygiene. Just as we bathe our physical body, we must cleanse our energetic body. Every evening, take 5 minutes to clear residual energy. How? Sit in silence and scan your body from head to toe. Wherever tension or heaviness is felt, breathe into it and visualize a violet flame dissolving the residue. End with a grounding affirmation. I release what is not mine. I return to center. This prevents the slow erosion of energy by unconscious accumulation. 5. Living with intention. The final practice isn't a ritual, it's a mindset. Live deliberately. Everything how you eat, speak, walk, rest either builds or bleeds energy. Ask throughout your day, where is my energy going? Is this aligned with who I'm becoming? By simply becoming aware of energy expenditure, you begin to reclaim sovereignty over your life. Remember, vital energy is not given, it is cultivated. And mastery is not an accident, it is the result of consistent, conscious practice. Now you know the truth. Your life force is not some abstract concept, nor a passive current flowing through you. It is a conscious, intelligent power ancient as the stars, and yet wholly yours to command. It animates your breath. It shapes your thoughts. It responds to your will. And when consciously cultivated, this force becomes the bridge between who you are and who you are destined to become. We began by peeling back the veil, exploring the forgotten wisdom of ancient mystics, sages, and seekers who knew the secret. That transformation is not found in books or temples, but in the quiet rituals of everyday presence. In how you breathe, in how you feel, in how you choose moment by moment to direct your energy with intention. You've now seen how vital energy flows through breath, thought, and emotion. You've walked through the chambers of polarity, discipline, and transmutation. And you've been given tools, real tools to begin shaping your internal reality. But remember this. This is a path, not a quick fix. A sacred unfolding. And the deeper you go, the more subtle, powerful, and paradoxical the work becomes. So ask yourself, will you continue leaking your power, chasing shadows and distractions? Or will you become the alchemist of your own soul? Pause. Visual. A lotus slowly opening in darkness, glowing from within. Because the journey of mastering your vital energy is the journey of becoming truly alive, not reactive, not chaotic, but rooted, radiant, sovereign. If this video resonated with something ancient inside you, consider subscribing and joining this circle of seekers. Share your thoughts, questions, or experiences in the comments. We read every one. And if you're ready to go deeper, the next path awaits. Until then, guard your energy, cultivate your fire, and walk with intention,